By the year 2000, the WWF pretty much owned the wrestling world, including wrestling games. With titles like WrestleMania 2000 and Smackdown under their belts, it was clear to see that there were no signs of slowing. So when WWF No Mercy was released, it was no surprise that we got a great game. But some say it might be the most perfectly made wrestling game ever. And now that I really think about it, I don't know if I can disagree.
Oh my gosh! So close! He kicked out! He kicked out! He kicked out! Fashion. 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 WWF.
Just like in Revenge and WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy features a pretty lengthy intro video, in montage-style fashion with clips of pretty much everything relevant to the company at the time. It does a really good job of representing what you're actually about to get into. The music is catchy, the clips are entertaining, and it uses the actual in-game graphics to pull everything off. When you get to the main screen, you'll hear the now famous menu music playing in the background, which actually changes slightly depending on what menu you're in. The layout is pretty simple. The first menu displays the different styles of match types, including new types like ladder and special guest referee. The next menu offers you championship mode, which is the game's career mode, and survival. And last but not least, we have the Smackdown Mall, which is where you purchase items and create wrestlers, along with the standard options menu. The roster is pretty deep in No Mercy. There's not really anybody that comes to mind that I feel is missing, other than the absence of the Big Show, who was sent back to a developmental league during this time due to his weight issues. But he was still a big name in the company, and I feel he should have been included. Just as in WrestleMania 2000, you still have 4 attire options for each wrestler. But this time around, you can give each attire a different name and different music, but they still have to share the same moveset. Andre the Giant makes an appearance in this game, which was cool I guess for the time, but being the only wrestler from his time period, he doesn't really fit into the game, and I honestly can't recall ever playing as him. Now, one of my few complaints about this game since its release is the lack of legit entrances. I know some people could care less about entrances, but for some of us, it completes the all-around feel of the game. The wrestlers come out onto the stage area, do a taunt, and then it's over with. The previous 2 AKI titles had front-to-back entrances, but we didn't get them here. And I still don't quite understand why. Even early screenshots show that in the developmental stages of the game, they were planning on having full entrances. So why did they take them out? I'm also confused on the Titantron videos in this game. Sometimes a wrestler's Titantron will play, and when they do, it's only in a full screen mode. They don't actually show up on the giant Tron. It just seems like we took a giant step backwards in the entrance department, but like I said, that's probably my only complaint. The gameplay pretty much remains the same as WrestleMania 2000, though they polished it all up a bit and added things like running grapples. It just plays even smoother than the last game, which had almost perfect gameplay already. The game features your normal venues like Raw, SmackDown, and a decent amount of pay-per-views, including the WrestleMania 2000 stage. This game takes a step forward in the graphics department. Everything has a little more detail, runs a little cleaner, and they redesigned all the wrestlers' faces to look a little more like the real thing. All the arenas are impressive, the crowd is slightly improved, and other than the now very well recognized floaty body parts look that these games have, everything looks great. Ladder Match is new to the series and is an addicting addition to say the least. Throwing a ladder into a game that plays this great led to hours upon hours of multiplayer fun when I was younger. It can be a little challenging at times, especially during a tag match, but these matches can last forever without losing interest. It's extremely satisfying to set up the ladder in the ring, climb to the top, and dive at your opponent standing ringside. Unless you miss, of course. Backstage areas are also new for No Mercy. You can fight anywhere from the stage to the locker room and even a bar. I'm still confused on why a bar would be in the backstage area of an arena, but it's there, and honestly it's probably my favorite place to fight backstage. Mostly because it comes equipped with a pool table that you can smash your opponent through, which in my destructive youth I really couldn't get enough of. There's also finally an announce table present ringside, and though there isn't anybody sitting at it, it's also fully destructible. The Smackdown Mall shop features items you can buy with money earned from Championship Mode. Here you can unlock stuff like clothing, moves, weapons, and wrestlers, and even a hoe. Huh? You can buy a hoe in this game. The Create a Wrestler mode has been expanded, and is really a lot better than before with a lot more options added to it. And because they offer the same quality of parts for the created wrestlers that they use on the WWF superstars, there isn't any difference in appearance when placing a created wrestler against one of the game's models. You can also still edit any wrestler in the game, so if you want custom attires, different music, or anything like that, feel free to edit away. I played a lot of Championship Mode when I first got this game, and it's really one of the shining points of No Mercy. Every title has its own exclusive story, and every story branches depending on certain decisions or wins and losses. The cutscenes are great for the Nintendo 64. Lots of ramp run-ins and backstage arguments and plotting. They did a good job of filling this mode up with a lot of entertaining features. And no matter how easy you have the difficulty set to, this mode is going to get challenging. There's no getting around it. With all these great new features added, there's still favorites like the Cage Match, Hardcore, and the addicting Royal Rumble mode. It's hard to deny that No Mercy is a great game, because it is. It was a great time in wrestling. It was a great time to be a wrestling fan. It was a great time in gaming with all the advancements in technology and with 3D gaming really starting to excel. It's like the planets just aligned for No Mercy, with years of games like World Tour, Revenge, and WrestleMania 2000 leading up to this moment. Every title better than the last. There was even a sequel planned for a 2001 release on the Nintendo 64, but it didn't get too far into production before being canceled to focus on next-gen releases. It probably would have been amazing, even better than No Mercy, but then No Mercy wouldn't have been called the greatest wrestling game ever. Is it? Well, I think that's for you to decide.